I just had an incredible session actually. Yeah, you see the results here in the graph. BB wise, that looks pretty nice. Obviously, I played again a mix of like Zoom 200, where I ended up with like 300 and 400 big blind stacks, as well as some 5K and 10K. And games have just been insane. Pretty much what you are dreaming of, but that session was just a little annoying, and I will tell you why. I had a really great session until the end, and actually this is not one hand where I just lost a stack or something. It's just like I just started like in one orbit losing every single hand on 10K. And yeah, that kills a session like that. So let's focus on the big blinds and on the play I had. This is just the variance I gotta accept mixing those stakes. So I'm actually thinking about maybe not going for those 10K shots because it's really tough, like to mess up. I mean, I played fine. I'm pretty sure I'm just solving something on the side to like accept that, like on the inner side, to have that mix and then just a couple of hands on the highest stakes just decide everything. So it's like, I don't know what's best for the head there. Yeah, anyways, I want to show some hands where I definitely made some cool moves, some cool money. So actually this one is maybe my favorite hand of the session. So I open raise ace queen, we see bet flop small, and turn. This is one where we definitely never or almost never want to see bet our ace queen. We beat ace 7, ace 8, ace 9, ace jack, ace queen. We want to keep those in instead of betting, so keeping the small cooler on our side. I check back, river the freaking nuts. This guy checks, and here's now no reason for me to go crazy over betting. I mean, I have ace queen, but he can still have like all kinds of things. So I go for a normal size. I wanna value bet pretty much jack plus. And he goes for the check raise. And now, my friends, we have someone here with 12% 3-bet overall. And I would say that 17% big blind versus button. That this guy is always 3-betting ace queen from the big blind versus the button. I think in theory you should do it almost always, sometimes have it in your calling range. So what does that mean? He usually has a value hand most of the time. This is how poker works. We beat this value hand and he can never have anything better. So if he folds his best hand, he's folding 100%, which people are not liking. So we are obviously going freaking all in, which just means if we do the math here, so we need 82% fold equity to have a good bluff here. But in real life, people always have value here and they see the spot and it's like, yeah, let's freaking, he could have a bluff, whatever, right? I never have ace queen. So I think that people call way ofter than 82%. Yeah, I was happy to not even get called by like queen 9 or so. It's the freaking pocket fours, which I think is actually like a horrible call. Yeah, taking the stack, call it a cooler or not, up to you. And this one is very interesting. So I have a rather sticky player and I have ace king here, 250 big blinds deep. King queen 4, it's a board we can use multiple sizes. And actually that deep, I like to use a large one with like those type of vulnerable hands that want to attack queen X right away, get the maximum from king X, want to attack like a 7-8 of clubs, an ace jack, an ace 10. So yeah, I try to get the value here. 7 super brick. We can go 2E and then decide how far we want to go, whether this is good enough for 250 big blinds of value or check back bad rivers. So it's not 2E, but it's like 3/4. And he goes for the min check raise. Or like, I mean, it's a solid player, a little sticky. We're like, I'm not really seeing the pocket fours, to be honest. I'm not seeing the pocket sevens, and I'm not seeing the king queen. So I'm like, what can he have? Maybe the same hand like me? No, probably not. Yeah, I call to see what he does next, and he gives up on a brick here and just had the 12 outer that didn't want to fold, that didn't want to call. So yeah. Now 3K, finally a good pot. Yeah. C-bet flop from him. Now this would be interesting for you guys. What's our best C-bets here on the turn? What are our cards, like our random C-bets? We have flush draws and 4 or 5 suited, but what about all those jack 10, queen jack, queen 10 offsuits? What's your preference there? Which one do you go with, which one not? Which suits are interesting, which are not? So yeah, maybe think about that. And we face a bet here. Definitely call our trips and bink the freaking river. No reason to dump here. I have plenty of flushes. He has plenty of flushes. He has the random bluffs. I have ace X that actually doesn't want to get any more bets in, and he bets big again. Actually, he polarizes and goes pot, and I have an easy jam. Question is, what are my bluff jams here, which is really, really, really tough. I think I need to bluff jam ace X, because I don't get there with any 9X. I don't get there with 8-9, something like that. I do not really have a 3X, so I think I need to bluff ace X. Something we could look up. And yeah, he called me with the ace of spades queen, which he looked it up already, and talked to me, and he said, oh god, this is a ridiculously bad call. Probably the reason against his polarized pot bet, I cannot raise any flushes, so his ace of spades is totally irrelevant. And yeah, so taking this pot down here is pretty nice. This was interesting here. Another guy who somehow plays perfectly all of a sudden in like big pots, flats the small blind, so this can be like pocket 9s, pocket 8s, pocket 7s, like those hands that are on the lower end of like 3-betting versus the cutoff, how happy they are. And here I just learned that this is the perfect hand to re-raise. Because I'm blocking the 9, I have the backdoor, and actually calling against his jack 10, queen 10, queen jack type of hands is not that interesting. We get like a turn like that, he keeps firing, he has queen jack, he has jack 10, he has pocket 8s and pocket 9s, and I obviously have only one option. And yeah, an easy fold against the river, this river bet. But yeah, that was fun. So 7-8 suited, I flat because we have a recreational in the small blind and a recreational in the big blind. And this is my board, obviously. I have 4s, I have 6s, I have 9s if I decide to have a flatting range here. And then I start stabbing, and king on the turn against the recreational. He has a 6, he has a 9, he has whatever. I keep going, hopefully hit the river, and if not, rely on fold equity, so super standard. Then this hand, king 10 of hearts. Oh, I just rejammed 20 bigs and bink it against king queen. That's cool. And this one here, this is actually a nice one. Recreational in the big blind. This is why I want to keep the betting lead instead of going like check around once here, which makes most sense for my hand in a way. But this guy is a special snowflake, so he is very, very easy to induce. I've seen him just jamming random bottom pairs and stuff against min bets. So this is the node I had. So what do I do with my super nuts with like stack to pot ratio 1.5? I just freaking not min bet, but close to it, and he rips in just a random king. So that was nice. This one was one of the last hands I tried to exploit here, and it backfired. So this is a non-Pio hand. I flop an open-ender, c-bet, faces 75% check raise. Obviously call. Hope to bink it. Almost. And now he checks. But if I think this card is so freaking good for me. And his check raise was 75%, so on the rather large side. I don't think that I have like too many of those queen 10 type of hands. So obviously I want to start. He might have something like 10-8 in check raise, right? So I still have some showdown value. I think I have ace jack, I want to bet. I have 10s, I want to bet. I have 9s, I want to bet. I have king queen, I want to bet. I have pocket aces, I want to bet. So I have so many value hands, and I need to find bluffs here. I have 7-8 and want to bet. So I decided that I go with this one. He check jams. We're like, I have no clue what he wants to have. Maybe queen 8, I don't know. And yeah, I gotta fold and just invest so much dead money with such a nice hand. I think I'm like kind of dead, but yeah, just sucks when I think like I have good fold equity, folding on something like 9-10 even on the river, maybe even ace-9, right? I have all the value hands, so I was ready to go all the way with this hand. Not this time. Okay, then next one. I open raise ace-king. Big blind, good player, 3 bets. I call. This is our calling range in position. Ace-king offsuit, majority is a call, sometimes a 4-bet, and when we are 4-betting, we are mainly bluffing. So now, first interesting thing is he uses a very large bet, like 61%, I guess I did the math, to put in the right one. So what do we do with all our ace-kings we're having? And I think first thing here is, using the big size, he is using hands that he potentially can jam on the turn, which are mainly backdoor flush draws. So it's good in a way to have the ace of spades and not the flush draw aces. Villain, I gave him 2 options of betting. He used the big one, which is the preferred one on that board. and we look at our ace king and we see, hell yeah, I was right, finally. We see that ace of spades, king of spades are the preferred ones, right? They're unblocking bluffs. He's going with like ace jack of hearts or something like that. If we look it up here, ace jack of hearts, ace jack of diamonds, ace jack of clubs are like potential bluffs, and ace jack of spades are just check folding. So this is what we try to play against here. So I'm calling all of those here, especially like when I have a spade. Here, those. The others, sometimes not. Turn is a brick. I have 4-5 suited, I have 5-6 suited, I have 6-7 suited, lower frequency. I have the sets, low frequency, I have 10s, jacks, queens, and some pocket kings. So how to play that board, and I thought about, okay, I'm checking back a lot, obviously. He checks to me, sorry. And I think, well, what are my stabbing hands? And here, I'm not sure, because on the one hand, I think the one with hearts is the first ace-king I want to stab. On the other hand, I'm not sure whether I want to stab ace-king at all, because I'm not benefiting from folding out something like ace-jack, ace-queen. Like, I keep that in. We can play check-check, and then maybe have a bluff catch scenario, or he's just on give-up, and I don't need to deny equity. So this is where I'm really unsure now, so I want to look it up. 5 of hearts, and now we see what happens. He has ace-jack of diamonds, ace-jack of clubs, is on give-up. Ace-queen, he jams hearts, is on give-up with ace-queen, ace-queen of diamonds and clubs. Ace-king, give up. Ace-king betting with hearts, okay, not this time. Checking 10s, checking jacks, like not really having value all the way now. With me improving slightly there on that 5, right? We can see that if he would bet, we have 4 or 5, we have like not equity there. We jam something like that. So yeah, but now after the check, this is interesting for me. We use a small sizing mainly. Pocket queens are the first one that is interested in betting bigger. And now let's have a look. I think it's the one with the king of hearts that wants to do the betting, but I'm not sure. Actually, 100%. That makes me feel great. So we got the ace of spades, king of hearts, or the ace of hearts, king. I think the king of hearts is slightly better to have. So that makes me happy. I play solver-like. And this is where, NL10K kills your session, because he goes 70 seconds into the tank and ends up jamming. So what should he jam? Obviously aces, kings, queens that he slow played. And then some jacks without hearts. And some of those low frequency shitty something. And yeah, maybe queen jack of hearts. Like his tank felt so much like something like that, but I think he bets himself. So maybe it was like something like that bullshit type of thing. And against the jam, I have an easy decision. Obviously, my ace king is shit, and I call when I was betting and had something. That's how like lots of red line is lost.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to support the channel and stay always up to date, then leave a subscribe here or check out our next video.